What's good, y'all? This is your boy Akil McLeod back with another video, and today I'm going to hit up a couple different Ross locations because the last couple didn't really have too much heat. But of course, as you guys know, if one fails, you just got to go to a different spot. So I'm going to try a few other ones today, and I'm also going to hit up TJ Maxx as well because I forgot that they sell sneakers, and there's one not too far from my house. So I'll check that one out too, and hopefully we can find some good stuff to flip. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, y'all, so we in the first location, and as usual I went straight to the shoes. And this Ross usually doesn't have too many like really good pieces in here, but you really never know, so I had to come in here and check it out. So far I'm just seeing the usual Ross suspects: Solar Drives, Mike Trout cleats, these Vans that I've been seeing here forever. Honestly, if these Vans were priced a little better, I probably would have been picking those up, but it is what it is. This was something interesting because I usually only sell these if I find them in the thrift, but these actually do sell for like 50 bucks if you can find them for a decent price in the thrift. But as you guys seen, those were $30 here. Now shout out to RBX. I've been seeing a lot more RBX colorways. Those reminded me of Hoka's, but for those of us that resell shoes, we all know RBX isn't worth anything. Now here's a pair of New Balances. I almost picked these up if the price was just a little lower. They were on clearance and they've been there for a while. So if they drop a little lower, I might pick those up and try to flip them. Probably sell them for maybe 50 or 60 bucks. Here's a pair of sneakers from Under Armour. These stood out to me because the print in the front was really dope. I don't think these have any good resale value, but I'm going to start checking Under Armour sneakers a little more often because their Project Rock shoes sell pretty well, and there's some Steph Curry sneakers that actually do flip for some decent profit. Here was a pair of Addy Zero Adios 4s. I got a bunch of those from the outlet, and I've sold maybe 10 pairs of those in the past, so those sell pretty well if you can get them for a decent price. Here was another pair of Adidas, and these look like they were in a Parley colorway, and these were pretty nice, but Parley Adidas, unless it's the Ultra Boost, they don't usually sell too well, so I had to pass on those. Here was a pair of Air Money with the Lone Star State on there. These have been in a ton of different department stores: Ross, Marshalls, I think TJ Maxx had these as well. They're sitting in those stores and they're sitting online as well. Their market was pretty flooded when those first came out, but people aren't really buying those. Here's another pair of Addy Zeros. Price was a little too high on those, and now we're starting to check out some of the larger shoes. And you guys know I always pick up larger cleats if I can find them for a decent price. I actually picked up a pair of these Savage Forces, one pair in blue, one pair in purple, for $1. They were asking 15 for those, so I had to pass. Now speaking of Parley Adidas, here's another pair, and these are some Ultra Boosts. These were actually in the women's section, so I'm not sure if somebody put these in the wrong place or maybe they were trying to hide it, but I definitely going to be scooping these up. So if somebody was trying to hide it, sorry about that, my friend. Now next up is another pair of Parley. These are some NMDs. I've been seeing these in Ross everywhere, but this one in particular, somebody probably returned these, tried these on a bunch of times, so I'm not even gonna waste my time with those. Those definitely not gonna sell. And here we're in the kids section, and I've seen these in the men's section at other Rosses in the past. Those are pretty dope, but the resale value isn't really doing too well. And those Trust runs over there, those aren't really selling too well either. I have a few pairs in the inventory, brand new in box, and they're not moving. Here's a pair of Tailwinds, which is another shoe that's super saturated online right now. So anytime I come across those, whether they're kids or men's, I'm still passing on those. Now, this is my first time coming across a pair of Doc Martens in Ross. These were in the women's section. Not sure if they're for women or not, but they said size 4. And I checked the comps, and any Doc Martens that had like a safety shoe, like keyword in it, didn't really sell too well, so I passed on them. But usually I pick up Doc Martens all the time. Now this was a pair of Air Max Pluses, and I believe this was like a 5Y. So 5Y would translate to like a 7.5 in women. So I know, in my opinion, these shoes are pretty dope. So I'm pretty sure women that like Air Max Plus would pick those up. So I'm gonna take a chance on those, especially since their price was pretty cheap. Now here's a pair of React 270s, and I've been seeing these everywhere. This particular colorway as well, but these aren't really doing too well for men. The resale value isn't doing that well, so for kids I'm not going to take a chance on that either. Now this shoe was really dope. I wish it was in a larger size, like size 8 and up. I definitely would have took these, but size 4 in men's, I'm so confused why a size 4 in men's is even in Ross. And I checked the comps on these as well, and there's so many men's size 4 that's listed as new other, so a lot of people are probably picking those up from Ross, so I'm just gonna pass. But this was easily my favorite find so far. We got a pair of VAPORMAXes. It looks like an Oreo colorway for only 40 bucks. This was insane. I usually always spend at least 60 bucks on VAPORMAXes, especially since I've just started finding them. And as you guys can see, there's a minor stain on the shoelace, but I'm still gonna grab those up. Now here we got some Air Max 95s, and I believe these are called the Houston Pride. Now this is a size 6 in kids. That would probably translate to maybe a 8.5 in women's. So I'm gonna pick these up too, and especially since these were on clearance. Not sure why, because these were really clean, no flaws on them, but they probably were a return. So I'm definitely gonna take a chance on that. Now shout out to RBX, because these guys are putting out a whole bunch of different colorways. This one in particular reminds me of those Air Max React 270s. Those were crazy, so I just had to get those on camera. And speaking of the 270s, here's the actual colors that are pretty dope in my opinion. The actual shoe that's dope, but just a too small of a size 6. That's a tough size to sell. Same thing with this shoe, the Zoom Flies. I love Zoom Flies, they're super comfortable, but this is like a size 6. So those small sizes for men, size 6, size 5, those sizes are really tough. Even for women, a size 5 is kind of tough, so I don't usually pick those up. But if this was a larger size, I would have probably took a chance on those. Now here we got some more Huaraches, and these were actually for men, but they were in the women's section. And here's, I don't know what it is. I keep finding Huaraches that have like some discoloration about them. I don't know if these are B grades or not. I think these were a size 6.5, but as you guys seen, that color on the back was completely off, so I had to pass. And here was a pair of New Balance. I just sold a pair of New Balance for I think 75 bucks, and I picked those up from Burlington for 35. So I'm always going to be checking New Balance. It just depends on the style and colorway. This one in particular is pretty dope, so I might have to do some research on these and pick these up. But just wanted to let you guys know to definitely be on the lookout for those New Balance Fresh Foams. Now this one was something that I always used to see, and I think hopefully the market corrected itself with these shoes, because in my opinion these sneakers was dope. So I still wanted to check the comps, and apparently these aren't really selling too well at all. All I did to check these out was put in the style code, and as you guys can see, they're selling anywhere between 36 and 60 bucks. So I had to pass. And here was my last stop. I actually went to TJ Maxx, and I probably went to TJ Maxx twice since I moved here, and this was a really nice find. A pair of Air Max 98s in a leopard colorway, and for 60 bucks, I had to take a chance on these. Alright y'all, so we are back. So let me just show you guys what I picked up from today's finds, and today's finds are a lot better than yesterday's finds. As you guys can see, I got a lot of Air Max, and I even picked up some VAPORMAX as well as a pair of Ultra Boosts. So let's just start with those. First up is the Adidas Ultra Boost in the Parlay colorway, or Parley, whatever you want to call it. The whole thing with the Parley collection is that they basically use recycled plastics and recycled materials to make the shoes out of it. So for those that really care about the environment, this was really dope. In my opinion, the colorway is pretty nice. It has like kind of like that teal light blue colorway, which is always nice. And this was a size 8.5 in men's, and this one should sell somewhere between that 90 to maybe 110, maybe 120. I was seeing comps kind of fluctuate all over the place, but as we all know, when it comes to picking up stuff from Rossi, it's always going to be people that's going to price them where they're barely making any profit, and those are going to be the ones that sell out first. So for this particular style and colorway, this one might sit for maybe a couple months. We'll see how long it actually takes, but I'm definitely not going to price mine for like 80 or 70 bucks, because as we all know, these did cost, I think I paid 50 bucks for these, so I'm gonna have to make sure I get some decent profit on this. Next up, we got a pair of Air Max 95s in the Houston Pride colorway, and these were really dope in my opinion. These were actually in the kids section. I think a size 6 or 6Y would probably convert to say 7.5 in women's, and this is a really dope shoe, and I got this on clearance for only $28. And usually the clearance finds usually does have some stains or some flaws or something wrong with it, but this was probably just a return, and they lowered the price because of it. So with this one, I'm probably gonna price this one up closer to 100 bucks, maybe a little less. I'll have to check the comps, of course, but because I got it on clearance, I definitely just wanted to scoop these up because I knew there was some money to be made. Now, similar to the Houston Pride Air Max, here's a pair of Air Max. These are Air Max Pluses in a vault, and it has kind of like a camo upper to it. You can't really see it in the light, but for the most part, these are really dope. And once again, it's a youth size, but it easily can translate to women's size as well. And these shoes are really dope. And I even got Dom wearing sneakers as well and she really did like these. So I'm pretty sure somebody else out there would like these and wouldn't mind spending a little more money on these. And usually Air Max Pluses, they do sell kind of expensive for like that $90 to $100 mark. So that's where I'm going to price these as well, and just wait until the right buyer comes along. And moving along, we got a pair of VAPORMAX, and these were also a size 7Y, and this would also translate to like a women's 8.5. And the only problem with this is that there was like some small coffee stains or just maybe dirt stains on the laces, and that's an easy fix. I can just wash the laces without even having to take the laces out of the shoe. So that's a really quick fix, and these should sell somewhere between that $130, maybe $140 mark, because these are definitely a lot more limited. I haven't been seeing a ton of these out in Ross, and just on eBay alone, the last few sales have been around that $130 to $150 mark. So this should sell really good. And last but certainly not least, we got a pair of Air Max 98s in a leopard colorway, and this one was really dope, and I think this was in a size 6 in women's, and this was actually came from TJ Maxx. And you guys know I never go to TJ Maxx. There is one not too far from my house, so I'm going to probably start going a little more often because they did have some decent deals in there. But this one in particular was the only one that really did stand out to me, and for 60 bucks I'll probably price these somewhere between 120 and 140 and see how long it takes to sell. But these are really dope in my opinion, so if I can find some more of these, I'll definitely grab them up in larger sizes. Alright y'all, that's all I got for today's video. So if you guys enjoyed that one, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
For the winner, cause you felt like you was losing, only for the winner. Move just to keep from cooling, like only for the winner, only for the winner, only for the winner. Boy, my heart is cold, and I'm too cool to sweat it. I should've never offered it. I'm tight and now I'm off this shit. You should